Alright, you guys, what is up? Today, this is Fallout What If here, and I'm going to be doing What If Deku was the son of Baki, Part 5, or I forgot what I called this What If. Oh man. These days I keep forgetting about stuff, but this is about the son of Baki, which is Deku. And, like I said before, I want you guys to tell me, what kind of new what if, and I'm going to see if I can at least do it, because literally, some of you guys put, what if Bell, Cornell, had this ability. I'm like, man, I gotta watch all these freaking shows if you guys want me to do this. So those right there would take longer. If you just say, what if Goku had this or that, then it's like, yeah, I think I could work around with that. I can play around with that. That's easy. That's a little more easier. What if Naruto was this, or what if Deku was this? Yeah, I can do that. Like the other ones, Fire Force, or how you say it, what else? Yeah, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Or I could probably do a freaking the what if Shield Hero thing, but I just gotta watch that again. Like, I basically gotta watch the stuff, like, if you guys tell me which ones. And remember, I'm doing 3, so you guys like whichever ones you want also. And yeah, pretty much let the games begin. But anyway, this is about, this is the episode for today. So, here's what's gonna happen. Deku and Toga, Kirishima are most of the time just with each other. And Kirishima just goes home for today. But, he was pondering this for quite a while. And he's been thinking about, well, what his father told him before, and what his grandfather told him. So, this is what they've been trying to explain. And that is Deku losing his virginity. And I understand if this sounds weird at first, believe me. But in the anime, Baki automatically just lost his virginity, and he became, 2 times stronger, or he just gained some new, strength. I don't know. It was just a boost in his power. And Deku was all like, well, I never thought about this. This is when Baki's all like, yeah, well, just do it with the one you love, alright? And Yujiro's like, yes, I agree with him 100%. And Baki's all like, see, even your grandfather believes. Even your grandfather agrees with me. And yeah, Yujiro says, alright, I'm gonna just go around and probably go to the store. Deku, you wanna come with me? And Deku's all like, yeah, sure, might as well. And he gives his speech, a different kind of speech, saying, alright, look, Deku, here's what you gotta do. You gotta keep going at it, and at it, and at it, until you can't handle no more. And make sure she can't handle any more either. This is something that I've been doing all my life, and I don't want you just to be a one woman type dude. You can at least have 2 or 3, or even more that you desire, but just don't pick one woman only. Broaden your horizons, he says, because yeah, Baki and Jack Hanma aren't. They're only related to him by the Yujiro, not by their mothers. And yeah, so that means he's Yujiro's all like, yeah. I believe doing these kinds of things would be beneficial, and it will make you much more stronger. Just trust me, Deku. And Deku's like, oh, okay. And so he's like pondering, so should I do it today? What? He's just been giving me mixed signals here. And Deku's all like, well, Toga's at home right now. And he's just thinking, yeah, okay, let's just go to Toga. Toga has been thinking about Deku in that way as well. Because she's basically a yandere. A yandere. And she's always thinking about Deku and having, children with him. And Deku just explains the whole situation, not knowing how to like smooth it over. And this is when freaking Toga gets happy. So, in the next 4 minutes, this is what's going to happen. Deku and her just start taking off their clothes. I don't know how this is. Oh, man. I feel like I'm going to get demonetized. But here's what's going to happen. Deku and Toga basically, Toga going below, going downstairs and, receiving a package. And it was a Snickers bar. And she became satisfied. And this is their first time, so they're pretty much kind of nervous. After all that, they start doing it like rabbits. And this is when freaking Kirishima's gonna go home. Or not home. She's going freaking to Deku's house. And this is when Kirishima finds clothes laying around. And hearing a bunch of noise, not knowing what it is. Probably they're working out. And of course they're working out. Kirishima seeing the whole thing. And Deku and her having to stop for a while. Then talking to freaking Kirishima. Her not knowing what to do. But knowing the fact that Deku's wanting to do this as well. She's thinking might as well. Since she does love him a lot, she's going to go through with this as well. So Toga knows how the female body works a little more better than Deku. So she just gets her warmed up, and Deku and her are, doing some stuff. After that, Deku, Toga, and Kirishima are going at it like rabbits. And here's the thing. So, oh jeez, how do I say this? Toga is just basically, she's just like, she likes both men and women. So she's kind of used to doing stuff. And all that good stuff. Deku becomes happy. The girls become happy. They release their love for each other. And now they gotta go clean the sheets. And pretty much that's it. They all take a shower together. And Deku doesn't feel anything right now. He doesn't really feel a thing. And Deku's probably thinking maybe he was talking about something whenever I get into a fight. And Kirishima is passed out. Freaking Toga is just laying on top of her because she's tired. She can't move. And Deku's pretty happy, but it's just like, it's not like what his grandfather told him. There's no, like, power boost or anything like that. And, yeah, they go to sleep. Them going to freaking, to the school. And the girls are much more happier today. Oh, and Toga's going to school. with freaking Deku. Why do I say that? Well, because freaking 3 to 4 people showed up. And it's freaking Yuichiro, freaking Yujiro, Jack, and Baki. They all went up to the school to represent, because they're basically, well, Jack is technically a war hero because he's fought in the fought for the country and has done scientific researches and all that. Baki is technically the number one, the strongest fighter in the world. And yeah, and everybody knows this all around the world. They know that Baki is the strongest person around the world. That's his thing. That basically gives you a title in their freaking universe. Yujiro is technically technically the second strongest by default, but he's also a Japanese freaking soldier, which he's also done for the fighting or for the Tigers or something like that. And Yuichiro was also a war hero for Japan after beating the freaking marine boat, or the boat called the Oklahoma boat or something like that, which was a huge boat, and Yuichiro saved some of the people from dying. So yeah, this family is like the Addams family. They're basically showing off their auras, them talking to each other. It's been quite a while. How have you been? And yeah, they basically just represented for Toga and vouched for her to go and be a hero. And they do explain that she was a villain, but you know what? They're under their protection. And Nezu knows all too well about these people. And Nezu's all like, well, of course. If you guys are representing her and vouching for her being a hero, then why not let me give her a chance? And here's the thing. All the other teachers are scared. Even All Might's like, no. I don't get paid enough for this. And Nezu isn't scared because he's rather calm. That's the kind of personality he is. Even if looking at all 4 of these people and Deku, he's all like, yes, well, I would imagine that you would represent, but I never thought that this would be that day. I thought you probably would represent, your son, your nephew, your great-grandson, and your grandson. So, yes, I will do this, and I will try and to smooth things over with the teachers, since, well, I think one of them is passed out, and it's freaking Present Mike, because he screeched after looking at freaking Yuichiro. He's like, well, how you doing, young man? And Present Mike is like, I just met one of the most powerfulest people in the world that could have just killed me with a finger. Which this dude could basically, how do I say it? I think in the anime he spat on a person and it pressured to his chest. Which, yeah, this dude has the power to do that. So anyway, Toga is there and now she's a hero. But her name is called Mesquite, or better known as Mosquito, because she likes blood. She uses the blood, gives her power, and she also has what's called freaking Deku's blood and Baki's blood. The reason why she won't take either Jack's or the other 2 is because their skin is a bit too thick for even her knife. So she thought, hey, might as well just use it on Jack. But after smelling his blood, it's basically kind of toxic for her, even for her. because Jack has freaking Jack's body had a lot of steroids and a lot of drugs. So even though he's alive for some miraculous reason, he still has the drug blood, which I'm just calling it. So yeah, he's toxic to freaking Toga. But there's other people with different types of blood that has a poison in it that are poisonous for Toga. So yeah. But anyway, so how you say it? That's her hero name. Her name is Mesquite. And she basically has like her basic outfit that she uses as a villain. But hold on. Okay, so this is what her hero outfit will probably look like. And if you don't like that, I was thinking more of this right here. Her wearing a nurse's outfit and having needles that gives her blood. And here's the thing. Capsules that could probably give her more of a... capsules filled with blood instead of needles that she has to suck out. She can just chew on the freaking pill, the blood will let out, and she's basically satisfied. So I don't know which one, which... Oh, jeez, okay, that's a bit territorial there, people. So, yeah. And believe me, I just searched up freaking Toga hero. And this is what I got. So yeah, you guys make out what you, make of what you will of this. But anyway, that's their thing. And Kirishima's is basically the same thing, plus a freaking, how do I say it? There's also like a bandage around her chest, bandages around her chest, so that way she doesn't expose her, her things. And freaking Mineta sees, I don't know if Mineta's in or out. But if she's in, and if he is in, he would try to go to freaking Toga. Toga looking at him and thinking, his blood is probably toxic. And Mineta's like, what the heck? Oh, I just met you. And Toga's saying, yeah, but, that's the thing. For some reason, I'm feeling disgusted by you. I don't know why. I don't usually get this feeling, but I feel like if I suck your blood, I might be a garbage human being. And Aizawa is like, Deku, is she alright in the head? Deku saying, no, but she's going to be a good hero one day. And I'll also keep watch on her on all times. Deku and freaking Aizawa was like, okay, well, hey, you take care of her. And Deku is basically the UA president. Or no. He picks actually Momo to be president because he thinks, well, she's smart and all that, and I really don't want to do all this. This is so boring. And Momo's like, okay, so you're going to be vice president. Deku saying, yeah, might as well. Momo's like, jeez, what's his problem? I just told him he's going to be vice president. Isn't he happy at all? And this is when Toga's behind her. It's like, you better not talk to him. I'm just warning you right now. Momo's like, wait, what the heck? What are you doing here? And Toga's saying, look, I love Deku very much, and you all probably like him too. But he is mine and Kirishima's boyfriend, not yours. If you touch him, I'm going to punch you in the face. Are we understood? Momo's like, yeah, sure. Toga saying, yay, okay. I hope we can be good friends. Momo's like, what the freak is wrong with her? She's saying, yeah, okay. And she's introducing herself to all the girls. So yeah, Toga is just making friends with all of them and saying, hello and nice to meet you. Because before all that, she gave her introduction saying, hello, my name is Himiko Toga. And I am Deku and Kirishima's boyfriend and girlfriend. Me and him and her are dating, and yeah, I belong to him and only him. So sorry, boys, I can't be shared. The only one who's sharing him is Kirishima. Kirishima's like right now, like blushing. Why, Toga? I understand you have to do this because you just do you. But really, why do you have to drag me along? Toga saying, don't worry. Well, what we did yesterday, there's nothing... how do I say? What we've done yesterday, they won't have to know about. And all the boys are looking at Deku with, like, jealousy, mad rage. I think except for freaking Bakugo. Oh, no, he would kind of get jealous due to the fact that these two girls, they're actually not bad looking in his eyes. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. But they're with Deku. Screw Deku. But anyway, they go to the bus because it's the hero thing where they're saving people. The USJ arc. So they go there, and basically they're telling freaking Toga what does her quirk technically do. Her explaining that she uses the blood of anybody to basically give her power, which she can technically transform into them and know a lot of stuff since their brain waves and wavelengths. Basically, she can use your blood, and she would know a lot about you, a lot about your friends and who they are. Yeah, that's a neat quirk to have if you need to find out a lot about a person. But anyway, Deku talks to freaking how do I say it? She talks to Deku, and she's basically just sitting on on his lap, and all the guys are like saying, Aizawa, this can't be safe. And Deku saying, no, don't worry about it. I usually do this around back home, and plus, I'm gripping the bus with my feet, so there's no way that she can fall. And Aizawa would believe this because after seeing all of his relatives, besides Zinko, he's like, okay. She might be Hanma, but she's not actually by blood. So, you know what? She's clear. There's, all these beefcakes, as he would call them. And Midnight would take, a liking to freaking either Jack or Yujiro. Yuichiro is kind of contempt with life and women. He would probably, bang a girl here or there, but he fell in love with a girl who she and he made a baby with, which was Yujiro Hanma. But that doesn't mean Yuichiro, since he's technically like 160, that doesn't matter to him. He still looks the way he does, and all of them for some reason look young, even if they're old. So anyway, yeah, Midnight and freaking Yujiro kind of hooked up for a while. And yeah, let's just keep that out there. Let's keep that there. And yeah, Aizawa's all like, yeah, I can believe that. I believe that he's telling the truth. And all of them were like, oh, jeez, how lucky can this guy be? Ah, jeez. What makes him so special? And Toga heard this, and she says, what makes him so special? Well, he's kind, he's very strong, he could kill any of us in an instant, And he wouldn't, since that makes him... Well, he wants to be a hero so much that he won't even kill you guys. And he also has his bloodline, which makes him very strong. So, yeah, and his blood is tasty. And they're all like, oh yeah, I forgot she's a yandere. Welp. Well, congratulations, Deku. Deku saying, yeah, thank you. And they go and get out the bus, and everybody is right there. And there's actually a surprise visitor, which is Yujiro Hanma. And this is because Yujiro just wanted to hang around and see what Deku has been up to most of the time. And he says, Deku says, Grandpa, what are you doing here? And Yujiro is all like, well, son, or, well, kid, I decided to just go check and to see how strong you are. And since I wasn't there to see your freaking fight, and I only had to watch the video of you demolishing the blonde-haired kid and beat the freaking tin bucket right there, which I think it was Ida. I forgot who was fighting with him. Yeah, but let's just say it was Ida for plot's sake, and says, yeah, the tin bucket over there. And he was all like, just don't look at him, don't make eye contact. And Deku says, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll fight him. Or, no, yeah, sure, you can watch us. And like I said, Aizawa can't really do much because he's a war hero. And, yeah, you don't treat the war heroes, or any war hero, or either that plus Hanma blood, you don't treat them with disrespect. No. They'll walk all over you in an instant. So what happens is now they're inside. Android 13 is talking, but still kind of nervous due to freaking this beast. This beast right here, just like walking around, saying, "Oh, well, this is this place is where you're gonna be doing hero stuff." Neat. And 13's just explaining everything. Then the villains come, and Yujiro's looking at this, thinking, finally, I can kill someone. And all the kids are like, why isn't he considered a villain? And Deku just says with a straight face, well, he can technically kill anyone by default. And the government tried to dispose of him once, failed. And now every freaking 4 years when there's a new president, they read him the agreement of Yujiro Hanma, or any Hanma by that matter, not to be disturbed by the freaking government, otherwise they will know what happened to them. And this is Kaminari speaking. He's like, you know what? Never get on this man's bad side, I'd say. This dude's gonna turn me into pretzel, do things to me and just say, yeah, beat it, kid. And I'm gonna have to be walking with broken legs. So, yeah, Yujiro's a freaking threat to anyone. Now, anyway, the villains are coming, and Yujiro's all like, hey, Deku, you want to go work out with me? And this is when his bloodlust starts to freaking boil. What's called the air around them becomes much more thinner. His freaking the freaking lighting or everywhere is kind of dark. It's become a little dimmed. And everybody sees this too, and they're like, oh, sheesh, who turned down the lights? And it's just Deku and his freaking energy. And a lot of the freaking weak-willed people, besides Kirishima and Toga, basically like Mineta, Kaminari, how do I say it? Hagakure, Kota, or Kota, or whatever. And also freaking, who else would be it? Probably that's it right there, but Toga is like happy to say, yay, my boyfriend's going to kill people. Well, I want to see how this works. And Deku's like, look, Toga, I really appreciate that you're going to fight, but this is a bit of bonding time with my grandfather. I would like it if you don't actually participate in joining me and him, but that doesn't mean you cannot defend yourself. So go fight, but try to make sure that you're at least 10 meters away from us. If not, 11. And that goes for all you two, and Kirishima too. So Toga just says, can you give me a kiss? And Deku just saying, yeah, might as well. Her kissing Deku for at least a good 5 seconds, and Kirishima was like, wait a minute, I want to be kissed too. And they're all thinking like, is he not taking this seriously? Are any of these 3 people not taking this seriously? And yeah. So hold on. So yeah, Yujiro is now taking off his shirt, and he says, oh man, it's been a while since I've taken care of this, but I hope I'm not that rusty. And he just charges forth, and Yujiro Hanma is known as the pinnacle of all physical force, but with also a twist. Deku is known for more of his agility and his physical force plus speed. Not only that, he is more braver due to the fact that he can like just handle two strong people as strong as him with definite ease and basically without fear. So they're all running, and well, basically Deku and freaking Yujiro's running, and they're basically starting a bloodbath. Deku grabbing what's called some people and just twisting their arms, and then punching their guts, which knocks them out. And freaking, how would I say this best? There's no real thing I can say besides them just going at it and punching everybody in the face. Yujiro not needing techniques, or most likely never using his own techniques besides just grabbing them, punching them. Basic stuff, but which is much more advanced to a physical and fast level. So Shigaraki sees this, and he's looking at Yujiro Hanma, and not only that, his grandson Deku Hanma, or just Yaki Hanma. Freaking Shigaraki scratching his neck, but a little more harder, because he's thinking, who invited him? Because Yujiro is known around all the world, which also means the villains. The villains, Shigaraki saying, Kurogiri, get the Nomu, fast. Kurogiri saying, yes, master. And using the Nomu, which is basically just the regular standard Nomu that they had. And yeah. So everybody thinks that Yujiro Hanma is still old and all that stuff. No, he is always in his prime. That is one of Yujiro Hanma's best freaking abilities. he is always in his prime, which means he's never going to actually die freaking weak. Even if he's 1,000 years old, he will still fight and train as hard as he could ever, as he will always, he can train the same way that he would have done if he was freaking 15. Meaning this man is no joke at all. This guy has one of the best abilities. But Deku still has his bloodlust, no quirk, thicker skin, or thicker than actually Yujiro's. His bones are much more stronger. His muscles are never going to tear that much, besides him having scars. So they're just destroying most of the villains. Now, what's happening over there where the kids were at? Well, basically, freaking Aizawa telling all of them to, stick together. Kurogiri teleporting all of them. And this time it's not Deku, Froppy, Mineta, and Toga. Toga knowing what to do, which she's always taken a bit of Deku's blood, which has given her the advantage of also learning martial arts, and usually using her knives and hand-to-hand combat. But while having Deku's body, he is a much more faster swimmer, which means she is just basically destroying all the people underwater. And she's not actually going up in the she's not climbing or swimming, or she's not going up for air, due to the fact that Deku's lung capacity is 4 times that than freaking, what's his face again? Than that dude in the freaking anime. The bald dude, Spike, or Spec. That dude, search up Spec. Baki, Spec. Yeah, this dude can swim in the ocean like where submarines will go to for 5 minutes straight without breathing at all. Underwater. So Deku can technically do that. Well, Baki can now do that for at least twice Spec's freaking limit. And Deku can do that 2 times more than freaking Baki's limit. So yeah, Deku is just destroying all of the freaking freaking villains in the water, and her just climbing up to the top, and the freaking blood just runs out due to the fact that Deku's blood, or any of the Hanma's blood besides Jack, because it's his poisonous, she can use their blood, but freaking Yuichiro is stronger still, the strongest one, because he's been learning all the time and that's his thing. But yeah, using freaking Yuichiro's would take like a minute of the freaking time limit. Yujiro's a good 5, and freaking Baki's 10, but she cannot handle Deku's, because his is much more weirder. But nonetheless, yeah, she basically got there safely, and she's either wearing the maid's or the nurse's outfit now, but it's all wet. Mineta's looking at it, and her poking his eyes. So after that, they're basically safe, and she's thinking, why not just freaking use some of the rope that she has, because of course Toga's gonna have some rope. That's her thing. She's a sub and a dom at the same time. Let's just say that. Her using the rope to climb down and swim to the freaking shore. Shigaraki is waiting there because he knows all about Toga. Toga working for him a couple of times, and her looking at Shigaraki with fear. Why fear? Because that's her old boss. Let's just say she's worked under them for a while, plus Dabi, just because they needed things before, and Toga pretty much liking doing what she did, or knowing the fact what she did, but, you know, her past was actually bad, then her changing, and Toga was like, hey Shigaraki, how's it going? Shigaraki saying, well, look who's here. Why did you join the hero squad? Toga's like, well, I wanted to be a hero, and there's this boy I like, and Shigaraki snapping, saying, a boy? You did this all for a boy? Wake up. No boy's going to truly like you. Look at what you've done. If he was a villain, then yes, he could probably like you. But you chose a hero. Now, let me guess. It's... And he picks some random, like, hero right there. Like, Todoroki. Because he's, like, thinking, there's no way that the freaking Hanma kid is it. She's probably thinking about, like, some Romeo or some type of, like, pretty boy. And he's either looking at Aoyama or freaking Todoroki, and he's like thinking, it's probably that Todoroki kid. Well, you didn't tell him that you were a villain, didn't you? And she says, yes, I told him I was a villain, and he accepted me, and that's technically not him. Him looking at freaking Deku was like, are you telling me that kid is the person you love? Well, him reaching out to her freaking neck, leaving a bit, one finger there, and he yells at the freaking person, or at Deku, and Yujiro's fighting the Nomu, and just basically toying around with it. Deku, seeing that freaking Toga is basically having her neck, having his neck, or having his hand around her neck. Deku about to run, but freaking Shigaraki says, if you charge at me, my finger will touch her neck, which will disintegrate it. Basically meaning, you are now in my territory. Yujiro looking at this and it's like, crap. And he says, you too, Yujiro Hanma. And Yujiro's stopping, and now the freaking Nomu's punching Yujiro. And now Deku can't do a thing. He's getting mad. Not only that, he's getting mad at freaking, how do I say it? Him getting mad at the freaking hand fetish dude. Saying, let her go now. Shigaraki saying, what you said? What did you say? Deku says, I already warned you. And this is when Deku freaking blitzes. But he's even faster than All Might, than the Nomu. Like, to a point of speed that even Shigaraki couldn't, apprehend. And now he's grabbing Shigaraki's arm. Him breaking the arm and kicking him in his side. Him kicking his side and breaking most of his ribs on his left. And damaging some of the organs. Him flying, this is when Kurogiri teleports freaking Shigaraki away, and his last thing was Nomu. Kill the kid. And this is when Deku's freaking back starts to turn into freaking... I can't actually find out the picture right now. But his back basically turning muscular. And when his back is turned muscular, that means he is going all out. Him using the demon back, which is a basic transformation like this. That's his back, built like the face. His muscles built up, it's the face of a demon. His flesh grew up normally on his back, look as hard as a rock, which means that Deku is now playing around. And now Yujiro kicked him away and says, well, I hold him off for a while. He threw a bunch of good punches, but not really strong enough. And this is when Deku goes around and sees the freaking Nomu. And Deku and freaking Yujiro says, yeah, just let out your frustrations, grandson. He's like, ah, man, he won't bake you a cake. He'll make you beat somebody to death. And the Nomu's a good punching bag, he says. The Nomu grabbing freaking Deku, but the moment he does, most of his freaking fingers are messed up. And the Nomu is just starting to regenerate them. But Deku kicks him in the freaking stomach, breaking most of his bones in the inside. And while he's doing that, Deku stomps on his freaking shin and breaks it from the inside out, having a bunch of holes. The freaking Nomu, not knowing what to do, he just punched freaking Deku. Deku taking the punch, grabbing it, and twisting his arm all the way. Basically like a wind-up toy. His arm is basically all messed up, and it has to be healed. This is when Deku becomes much more enraged, and his freaking sex, or how do I say it, the thing that he's done with Toka and Kirishima is starting to activate. It's a basic kind of euphoria of pleasure that his brain is stimulating. And this is when he just punches so much, kicking, twisting, doing all that, and the Nomu's body is becoming much more mangled. And Deku is basically grabbing him, choke slamming him, after that picking up his leg, swinging him around, and basically doing what people would do if they were sweeping from side to side. And while this is happening, this is around a bunch of villains. And the rubble is just hitting the freaking villains, and some of them are getting knocked out. Now, everybody has fought, and let's call freaking Kaminari is still retarded, so it's gonna take a while for him to do everything. But with freaking, how you say it, Bakugo and Kirishima training a lot more, they get out easily, and they destroy the person who took Kaminari hostage, so that's good. And Toga is just right there on the floor, her thinking about freaking how truly disgusting she might have been this whole time. But we all know how this is going to play out. But anyway, Deku's just breaking him down to the point where the Nomu can't stand. But this is when he just says, well, I guess he's dead. I just wish he stood up a little bit more. I could have done something else. And yeah. This is when Deku, this is when freaking Yujiro is like, well, you did a lot more than I would have thought. Proud of you, kid. And Deku is like, how you say it? What's it called? Deku saying, yeah, but I wish I didn't hesitate as much. And Deku is telling him that, but freaking, what is his face? Yujiro saying, no, kid. In the army, sometimes you have to learn whether to do the right thing or to let it happen. Sometimes there's no right answer. And this is when the freaking Nomu gets up again. But Deku was about to run and attack him. But this is when Yujiro catches him, picks him up by his shirt and says, "Ah, kid, this is my turn now. I owe him for a lot of punches that this, SOB did to me." And this is when Yujiro now uses his freaking, how'd I say it? His freaking demon back, which just gives him much more muscle and much more strength and speed. So he just blitzes the freaking Nomu, punching him, putting holes into his chest, putting holes into his arms, his feet. Basically just cutting the freaking Nomu down bit by bit until it's nothing more than a head. Then Yujiro says, "Hey kid, you want to play baseball?" And seeing what he means by that, saying, "Yeah, let's play baseball." And freaking Yujiro picks up the head and throws it 200 miles to freaking Deku, grabbing his what's called foot and making it a swift yet powerful kick. Him using 300 pounds of pressure, followed by the combination of the hit, making a 2-ton freaking collision. The Nomu's head is smashed and basically grape jelly. And this is when Deku's like, whew, it's been a while since I gone what's called over, gone over 10%. And Yujiro's like, I've only gone 4%. Deku saying, no way, you're lying. Freaking Yujiro's like, yeah, I'm technically lying. I went over freaking 9%. And the heroes and villains, or the hero, basically the Class 1A, Aizawa, the freaking villains hear this and they're like, wait a minute, these two were just playing around? And Deku's like, yeah, but I did go overboard when I got mad. Yujiro's saying, yeah, you'll control your rage someday, kid. Look at me. I used to kill a lot of people just without hesitation. And now I'm just beating most of them up. You'll get used to it, alright? Deku's saying, yeah. And everything is basically over with. But freaking not Yujiro. Freaking Aizawa finds out the person who was canceling out the quirk. And him now calling up Nezu, and the cops coming and all the heroes coming, arresting all the villains, taking care of all the leftovers, and that's basically it. Now we head to freaking Deku and Toga. Deku didn't know anything about her actually being in the League of Villains. Him only knowing that she was a villain for quite a while. Toga saying, Deku, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freaking... Hold on. Okay, this is just this is the only one I can see with her kind of covering her face out of embarrassment and out of sadness. So she says, I'm sorry for what happened. I didn't mean to lie to you. And I didn't mean to freaking turn back or what I didn't mean to She's basically saying that she's sorry, she didn't mean to lie to him. She just didn't know how he would felt if she knew that she was also doing this because she had enjoyment out of it. Because, yeah, she was doing this to defend herself and she kind of gone overboard. But now he finds out she's done this before and also enjoyed it. Toga is saying she's sorry. She understands if Deku hates her. But this is when Deku raises up his hand. And Kirishima, seeing this, saying, wait a minute. And this is Yujiro saying, don't talk, kid. Don't talk, kid. Kirishima was like, what do you mean? And this is when Toga starts to like flinch, but Deku just pats her on the head. It says, there. Don't worry. I'm not mad. I'm kind of disappointed that you lied, but in the very end, you came out honest. And you could have just told me that he was lying, and I probably would have believed it because it was you. It took a lot of bravery today, or for what you've done. And Toga crying into his arms, and Kirishima was like, so Deku is still good no matter what. And her freaking hearing him call him Toga-chan, which makes her happy, and she starts becoming super happy. After hearing him, what he says, basically that's it right there. You know what, since I know some of you guys like her a lot, let's just do it right there. This is her happiness. So, her, Toga being happy that Deku doesn't hate her, and says, I will give you a lot of rewards tonight. Deku knowing what she means. And Kirishima was like, what do you mean? Wait a minute. He saved all of us. That means I'm giving him a reward too. And Yujiro's right there like, yes. So happy right now. It's like, I'm gonna be a great grandfather. And saying, Deku, remember, do it until you're tired. Do it until you're tired. And Deku's like, oh, jeez, Grandpa. All right, I will. And all the others are like, what do you mean? Freaking reward tonight. Ichiro's like, you virgins don't have any right to talk to me. And all the freaking heroes, some of the heroes and all this, most of the students take offense, like, virgins? I'm like, jeez, you didn't have to like, shame us that way. And yeah, they go back home. They start doing it. And Toga is just contemplating that Deku is so freaking nice. Thinking, yeah, she's kind of lucky to have Deku in her life. And her making herself a promise to, even though she might one day be a villain or a hero, as long as Deku's there in it, right there leading the way in her life, she doesn't really care. So, and Kirishima also talks to him as well, just telling him what he did was a good thing. And he's proud of her, and she's proud of him for what he's done. And him holding freaking Kirishima in his arms, freaking saying, yeah, I understand. But anyway, how have you been doing most of the freaking time? You haven't talked a lot. Her saying, yeah, I'm pretty well. Well, it's just the villains just came, and now we find out who Toga's used to work for, and the freaking monstrosity. Deku saying, yeah. Well, anyway, we should go to sleep. Toga, like, hearing, like, saying, I call the middle, because Toga likes to be, like, between two people she loves. And yeah, them going to sleep. 2 weeks pass. But anyway, I'll just leave that there. Like, comment, and do subscribe. Anyway, bye.